I'm here in Belo Horizonte, Brazil. I wanted to start this series that's been in my head for a while. Um, I guess this video will be kind of like a mission statement and laying out a purpose, and also kind of like telling you what my deal is. Basically, I quit working at 33. I using kind of spiritual principles of attracting money, that kind of thing. What I teach is, I would call woo woo. If you are not down with it, you probably won't get much out of this because, if you think life and the world and the universe is this kind of linear, logical thing, everyone will tell you you're right, and okay, well, you're right. But what I've seen is that it's just not the case. It does not take endless effort to achieve things, to have things or whatever, and this is just one game of many, one game you can play, but it's a fun game to play. And here I am sitting in Brazil. I've got nothing on my schedule today except maybe a language lesson later, which is cool. I've been learning Portuguese. Eu estou estudando português e agora eu posso falar pouco de português. I did a class for a spiritual center where I live about a year ago. So in preparation for that class, I started to kind of just sit with the subject, because I had gotten on this line. Like I grew up, my dad, my mother and father were successful. So, so the idea of being successful and having money was just normal to me, right? And so that's, it's kind of a clue. It's kind of like an initial clue for you about where we are going to get your energy. At the same time, just because you didn't have rich parents, or because your parents said, money's evil, or blah, 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 or all the messages you received had to do with, lack or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's bullshit. It's just, human beings are sort of like plastic, like malleable, they call it, like plastic, on purpose, because that's how we've survived over the hundreds of thousands of years, is by adaptation, and there's, you can read psychology book after psychology book about how people adapt to conditions to survive, and sometimes that comes out in the form of negative emotions and bullshit, but in a natural state, it's what caused us to persist and to biologically continue, right? So we can become mindful of that and start to see our own patterns as not useful in the society we live in today, where don't let anybody lead you wrong. You have plenty of opportunity. If you want to feed your mind with this idea, like, with ideas like, oh, the American dream is dead, or there's no opportunity, or we're all fucked, like, okay, well, enjoy that, because you're going to end up fucking nowhere, and who wants that? Not me. And I don't think you do either. And I think that you're watching this because you know that there is more, and that you can have more, and that it's your right to have more. It's like it's your destiny. Like, to me, it's like if you're watching this, you're reaching, you're gonna make it. To cut down to the root of it, to cut down to like the pure essence of the center of it all. Like, for example, do you know how a knife works, right? Like, it takes the power of your arm and it concentrates it, right? Through a metal blade and then down into a little point. And so, for example, you want to eat dinner. So you have a steak. You want to cut that steak into pieces that are the same size, so that they will cook this, so you can put them in your mouth, like, it fits good, right? You want that, and that helps them cook evenly, cook all the same, blah, 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 right? Well, you try to take just your arm and your fingers, right, and rip the fucking steak apart. Well, God bless you. It's got, you'd be there 30 minutes later on that one fucking steak, trying to get these goddamn pieces off, right? They'll all be different sizes. The fucking shit'll be in shreds. It's like, fuck that, right? You use a tool, right? So we have this tool called money. It's just an idea, right? It's an idea. Like, the world may feel heavy and dense and difficult, like that feeling like when you fucking, like, you lost your job or whatever, and like your guts are like tense, and you're like, fuck, and because where's your mind going? Your mind is going, oh fuck, I can't pay my rent, I'm gonna be on the street, I can't fucking eat, I'm gonna fucking die, right? Like, that's where that comes from, right? So what is that? Foundationally, fundamentally, I think you already know this, but It comes from fear, right? And so fear, this is something that I will hammer on over and over and over again, but maybe you need to hear it. Fear is what will fucking shut you down. And here's the thing. So this is where we get into the fine stuff, the real stuff, because in the kind of the zone of the sort of spiritual and the fine is where all the good shit happens and all the efficient stuff happens. Do you see what I mean? It's like it's a thing where you have a castle built in a day, so to speak. When I met my mentor, he owned all these fucking houses, and he was a baller, and he's working on this property, and he's got fucking endless energy and blah blah blah. And he's like, I'm like, this dude's a rich man, gonna be a rich man, whatever. And it's true. And to me, it looked like this high fucking castle, and just unapproachable, right? But little by little, he took me kind of behind the wall, and I looked and I saw how he built the fucking wood framework to help him build the wall, and how he's standing on top with ropes and levers and pulleys and all these things. And I said, now I see the incremental steps, right? So it's all just incremental steps. But what I'm telling you is, when your energy exists in fear, all of that fine stuff shuts down. And for some reason, like, I don't know. I don't claim to have all the fucking secrets. I just know what I see. I know what I've seen over and over and over with myself and with other people that are doing this. That, when you enter that zone, all the good shit, all the fine stuff, all the castle built in a day stuff collapses, completely fucking collapses, right? So if I were to tell you that there's this place of peace and ease and openness and just knowing, where shit happens really easy, right? You'd say, fuck yeah, I want to be in there, right? So and it's true, it exists. It's you. You're already there. A lot of this, what we'll be going through, is just kind of the process of getting rid of and shedding, certain things that you just don't need, that are just in your way, right? Foundationally, right, money is this, really, the truth is, it's just this fucking neutral thing. It's a neutral fucking thing. It's this great fucking idea, right? Now, with the analogy of the knife, though, right, what do you do with your knife? You cook your dinner, you fucking make your steak, but at the same time, you can take that knife and you can fucking go recreate Friday the 13th and hack people up. And that's just what, because we're in this era, or coming out of this era of ego and ego energy, which is fear energy, which feeds on fear. Speaking of fear, by the way, if you want a little education on this, you should sit through It, the Stephen King It movie that came out in 2017. It is fucking brilliant for this subject. It's great. It's like it's a horrible movie. Like it's like violent, But if you can just sit and be empty with it and just observe it, there's great messages in there about exactly what I'm talking about. Because we're coming out of this era of ego and fear, we used this tool for bad shit. Exploitation, oppression, repression. But my point is, it doesn't have to be used that way. It does not have to be used that way. So we got to get rid of this fucking idea that money's bad, because it's just fucking not, right? The thing is that, like, I know in my generation, millennials, it's like people are like, oh, we're going to change the world. Yeah, and I believe you are going to change the world, or maybe your kids will change the world, or whatever, right? Like, but you're part of this push. But the truth is that you with money is a lot more powerful than you just working at a fucking NGO or nonprofit. I've seen myself what is possible when you just have free reign. There's no limitations, there's no budget, there's no filling out grant applications, there's no fucking groveling, there's no wasting your time on bullshit. It's just you fucking doing what you want to do, and you're pushing what you want to push. Anyhow, so let's get the poison out and get the subject handled, because it's handleable. Like I said, abundance is your birthright. Abundance is your natural state. So we just need to get you to the point where you are seeing and thinking and feeling and believing the same way, because it's true. It's just true. It's just the truth. Well, I guess that's it for now. I'm going to see how this video turned out. Hopefully I put everything in here that I wanted to. I probably should just cut a fuck ton of it out. This should be 30 seconds. But we'll see. Hopefully you didn't mind my dead cat. This is what they call these things, a dead cat. Okay, signing off. Good talking to you, and till next time.